What's up, you guys? Scott here, and let me ask you a question. Where is the best place to find your ideal clients online? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it Clubhouse? Is it Pinterest? Where are your ideal clients, and how can you spend the least amount of time, the least amount of effort, and pretty much no cost to acquire your ideal clients so they can pay for your service or your program? We all know as business owners, coaches, and therapists alike that time is very precious to us. And knowing that you have to do a lot of things each day to get a client, knowing where to put your time in the right places, especially on things like social media, but also knowing where to avoid is the difference between your business making a lot of predictable money per day or your business struggling month to month. So what I want to do in this video is really break down a very simple system to show you exactly where your clients are online, where's the best places to spend your time, but equally more important, where can you ignore, or what actions or activities can you ignore that yield really no results for your business as a therapist or a coach. So guys, let's go. So when trying to understand where your ideal clients are, you've just got to ask yourself, guys, these three questions, because we know as business owners, time is extremely precious to us. The better we can put our time into certain places, basically the more money we're going to earn. It's basically just inputs and outputs. If I put my attention, which is my time, in the right places, the outputs of that is always going to be paying clients. So really ask yourself these three questions, because there are numerous places where we can put our time and numerous places where our clients are, which means we can locate them, we can give them our offer, but there's also plenty of places where we might spend our time where our clients are not spending any of their time. So ask yourself these three questions. Basically, where are my clients? Next is, what is the most efficient way through time, energy, cost, and control to target these specific clients? And lastly, the most important one, can I repeat this process daily? If your goal is to get paid clients each day, you have to know what to do each day to get those clients, but you also, equally important, have to understand what things should I ignore that are only going to help me procrastinate, take up my time, that's not going to lead to any paying clients or any sort of outputs. So where are your clients? What is the most efficient way, time, energy, cost, and control to target these clients? And can I repeat this process daily? Now, in saying that, let me show you the most common way. This is really old school marketing tactics, but really the most common ways which most therapists, most coaches, most healers, most business owners or entrepreneurs in general will go to try and find their clients. Basically, these are the daily activities. And again, just in my opinion, I highly recommend that you ignore all of these things. And if you are doing these things, wait for the next slide, because I'm going to show you how to substitute all of these things, which only lead to wasting time. So let's take it from the top. So the most common way new business owners will try and get clients, and you've probably seen this in your letterbox as well, the old business cards and flyers. Now, 10, 15 years ago, this was great, because really online marketing, internet wasn't really as prevalent as it is now. And that was basically our only thing we could do. We can hand out business cards, we can hand out flyers. So what we do, we print off business cards, we print off flyers, and we go drop them off at people's houses. We might even walk around to our local hairdresser, our local shopping center, a business. We might go knock on their door, and we might try and get our foot in the door and talk to these people that maybe own the business, or people that are sitting at the hairdressers or something like this, and try and talk to them about our service. But here is the big problem. Based on the questions we looked at before, if I'm printing off business cards and flyers and I'm going to walk around people's houses in my local suburb, or I'm going to knock on other businesses, do I have any control of my ideal client? The answer is no, because I don't know who lives at these houses. I don't know who's going to be the hairdressers that day. I don't know who really owns the business, nor do I know if they have the problem I can solve or are looking to have a problem solved. So ideal client is definitely not. I've got no control over where those ideal clients would be. Now, is there time, energy, cost, and control? Well, is it going to take me time to leave my house and walk around the suburb and hand out business cards and flyers, plus to go and print them out? Well, absolutely yes. Is there energy involved? Absolutely. There's a lot of energy walking around. Cost? Absolutely. It's not cheap to be printing off business cards and flyers. And lastly is the control, which is the ideal clients, which I have no control over. Who's going to be at that house? Who's going to be at that business? Plus, I have no control that if I put an expensive business card and flyer into the mailbox, I've got no control what they do with it. And that's just as important. How many times have you gone to your letterbox, seen what you think is junk mail, like a flyer or something like that? And what do? You put it in the bin. So all that time wasted, all that energy, all that cost, and having no control basically gets thrown in the bin. Lastly, the most important one is, can you repeat this? Well, sure, you can walk around your suburb. Let's say you drop off flyers and business cards to 100 houses in your local area. But once you've exhausted all those houses, what do? Well, do you have to drive to the next suburb and repeat? So that's more time spent. Then drive to the next suburb and repeat. Drive to the next suburb and repeat. Do you maybe have to move house and change different suburbs and things like this? There is no feasible way to repeat this process every day. If you're spending an hour to walk around 100 houses and the next day you've got to do an hour and a half, then 2 hours, then 3 hours, and so on and so forth, knowing that people that get the business card and the flyer are probably going to drop it in the junk box anyway, put it in the bin. Plus, you have no control of those businesses, who owns those businesses or who's going to be there, nor if they're looking to have a problem solved, which is going to mean that they're going to hire you. Can you control this and can you repeat this? No. So all you're doing is wasting your time. So where are your clients? Well, your clients are not in this. The context of leaving your house, which takes time, energy, and cost to print all these things off, you have no control about the outcome, so it cannot be repeated. Another version of this is like the business lunch, the business breakfast or something like that, or the meetup group, or both. So going to events, meeting new people, and again, handing out business cards and flyers, maybe using your elevator pitch or something like that. But again, what happens when we go ahead and do this? Well, the ideal client. We've got no control over who's going to show up to that meetup group. We've got no control over who's going to show up that business lunch. We've got to really look at this closely. When you go to a business lunch to talk about your business or a business breakfast, what is everybody else doing that shows up too? They want to talk about their business. So now you have businesses just bumping heads and competing against each other. You don't want their service. They don't want your service. So again, wasting a lot of time. You've got to leave your house. You've got to travel. A lot of these things you've got to pay for. If you want to host your own meetup groups or events, that's going to cost. I even hear therapists and coaches going to the extent of not only hiring a room, which is very expensive, I know, because I used to do it, but they go ahead and hire catering and drinks and after parties and all of this stuff, all for nothing. So ideal client. No, because who's turning up to the business lunch? Well, they're other business owners. What about the meetup group? You might give an event away for free, but again, you've got no control over who shows up. And the people that do show up probably just wanted to do something on the weekend. That's why it's called a meetup group. Time, energy, cost, and control. Takes time to go to these things. Energy is spent. Cost to hire the room, the catering, go to the business lunch, all that stuff. Control over your ideal client being there, you have none. Can you repeat this? No, you can't go to an event each day. Can't go to a business breakfast each day. Can't go to a business lunch. Can't host meetup groups every day. So again, this is a very inefficient way to spend your time, your quality time to try and get clients. So if you're doing business cards, you're doing flyers, the meetup groups, the business lunches, I highly recommend you stop. So if that's the case, we don't want to use these strategies, what is left? Well, let me show you how to substitute these things and the one shift you can make in your business that'll have the biggest effect in your income. So as you probably guessed, the only move we have left is to move your entire business online. We know that everybody around the world is on some sort of social media, if not all social media platforms, and it doesn't require a lot of thinking or a lot of time or a lot of energy or really any cost to target our ideal clients. But how do we do this? Well, let me take you through what happens with social media. Now, right at the start, when you apply this strategy and you want to move your business online, whether you're a therapist or a coach, it might seem like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. It might seem like you're doing a million things at once, and that's what's meant to happen. In the next slide, I'll show you how to refine that. So you'll actually spend less time on social media, but get more clients and more money. But let's stay on track for now. So we have things like the common social media platforms like YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got LinkedIn, we might have some sort of automated email marketing, and again, we've got YouTube in a couple of places. But let me show you not only just doing this stuff and applying these strategies online and moving your business online, it's also important, extremely important to know exactly where your clients are. Remember the first question we looked at, where are your clients? Well, here's what happens, and here's where your clients could be. So knowing what social media platforms to start with and what social media platforms to ignore later is also going to help you be more efficient with your time. So this is the way I categorize these things. So if I'm after general public clients, where would general public clients be? So these could be mums, dads, war veterans, people in the army. It could be pregnant mothers, whatever, whoever you're trying to target, just the general public. So I know the general public's going to be on YouTube. I know right now that I have potential clients on YouTube who have a problem in their life that are going to YouTube and typing something in like, how do I quit smoking? How do I overcome social anxiety? How do I grow my coaching business? Hence, that's why I'm making this video. So I know the general public are on Facebook. YouTube. I also know that the general public are on Facebook. Most people in the world have some sort of Facebook account. So I know if I show my content in the right places and call out their problem and offer some sort of solution, I can probably get their attention. I also know the general public's pretty much very active on Instagram as well. So let's say I'm not going for general public and I want to target more executive clients. Well, the place I would find executive clients, business owners, CEOs, like in my case in the past was lawyers. I could use something like LinkedIn because LinkedIn is more professional. We have more professional people on LinkedIn who have a profile who we can target. So I've got an executive clients on LinkedIn. I could also do some sort of email marketing because I can go to Google. I can type in lawyers in my area. If I was targeting lawyers, I can get all of their websites. I can scan all of those website emails, gather all those emails together, and I can send out my offer all at once. This is an email marketing routine. Plus, I know these executives will be on YouTube doing the same thing. You'll see YouTube shops a few times because it really is quite diverse. I know executives are on there looking for answers to their questions as well. And in most cases, people go to YouTube over Google anyway. So again, I want to get my content there. And again, YouTube putting it all together is really a combination of everything. It's like executive clients, general public, basically anybody you want to target, you should be using YouTube, hence why you're watching this video. So how do we break this down? Right at the start, like I said, you're moving your business online, you will have to attack all of these social media platforms. And I'm sure there's a lot that I've missed, but these are the main culprits here. You want to be showing up on YouTube. You want to be showing up on Facebook. You want to be showing up on Instagram. You want to have some sort of email marketing routine if that's what you prefer as well. Because right at the start, it will be like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall because we've got to see what sticks. But what happens is if you go to this extent, I can guarantee you'll see a massive shift in your income because it's a lot easier to target these people online. How? Well, ideal clients. Let's look at the question. Can I target my ideal clients? Yes, because I can target them. If I do a Facebook Live, I can have the right title. I can actually invite people on Facebook who I know is a good client for me into my Facebook Live. I can go to Facebook groups and I can find my ideal clients in these Facebook groups. I can send them a friend request and I can start to have a conversation with them. Does it take much time to do a Facebook Live? Well, no. Does it take much time to write a post? No. Is there really any energy? No, because I get to sit in my house and I'm sitting on my chair. No energy at all. Is there cost? Sure, I've got to pay for internet every month, but you're already paying for that anyway. So I'm not having to leave my house. I'm not expending any energy and my costs are almost zero. The only thing I have to spend is just my time. But what's more efficient? To walk around my neighborhood for 3 hours, knowing that if I drop my flyers and my business cards in their letterbox, they're just going to throw them out anyway. And I have no idea who is actually at that house. Or I do a 20-minute Facebook Live that can be seen by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my ideal client because I call them out and target them with the title of my Facebook Live. And it can be seen by hundreds of people every single day. And thanks to Facebook, it'll keep on sharing this over and over and over. Can I repeat this? Yes. I can do a Facebook Live every day. I can do a post each day. I can create a video each day. I can show a testimonial every day. And I do not have to leave my house. That's what's important. And I know that my ideal clients are online. And if I target them specifically with the right title and the right stuff, the people that don't want to watch my video won't show up because it has nothing to do with them. Okay. But the people that do want to watch my video means they're my ideal clients. So they are going to start looking at my content. Plus, thanks to Facebook, we can also drag people out of groups. I can talk to them over personal messenger. There's so many diverse ways of attacking the general public with all these types of platforms. So Instagram, you basically do the same thing. And across the board, LinkedIn across the board, depending on who my clients are. So ideal clients, yes, I can target them. Time, energy, and cost is all low. The only thing that's up is time, but I have to spend some sort of time on my business. Can I repeat this? Absolutely. And everything I do here is all for one purpose, to get the attention of people here. We call this traffic. And then I'm going to drive that traffic through things like posts, videos, organic outreach, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you're using all at once, of course. I'm going to put them all into my booking system and I'm going to offer them all a strategy call. Now I have control over the conversation. Whereas before, if I drop a flyer in their letterbox, I've got no control. I can't go up to their letterbox and say, hey, make sure you read this flyer. It's important. Because one, It's not an ideal client. I have no idea who lives there. And number two, you can't walk around like an idiot doing that because it's impossible. It's not possible to do in a business. But I can drag those people constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as I'm creating new content into my booking system. So you want to move your business online. So yes, right at the start, you're going to be doing everything at once. Then what you want to do is take it one step further, and you're going to look for something that I call asymmetry. So what is asymmetry? Asymmetry is just a fancy name that I've called basically doing less but getting more. So pushing one button but getting multiple clients instead of pushing multiple buttons and getting one client. So right at the start, you will have to push multiple buttons across multiple social media platforms. But then over time, you want to track for asymmetry. So what I like to do is every 30 days at the end of the month, I go through all of the strategy calls that I've booked, and I've got one question in the survey. I have a survey attached to my strategy call booking. The one survey question that's really, really important that allows me to track for asymmetry is, where did you find Scott? And let's say I get 100 calls in a month. I'm going to go through all of those surveys, make a quick list, and I'm going to go, okay, that one found me on YouTube. The next call found me on Facebook. Next one found me on YouTube. These next 3 found me on LinkedIn. The next 30 found me on YouTube. And I'm going to write it down. So over the 100, let's say, for example, I found out that 70 calls out of 100 were booked from YouTube. So what does that tell me about my asymmetry? What does that tell me about where my clients are? My ideal clients are on YouTube. That's why I spend so much time on YouTube and make so many of these videos, because you guys are on YouTube watching this free content. So my asymmetry means that if I'm trying all of this stuff at once and it proves, and I might do this for several months to get a big amount of data, let's say over 300 calls, only 20 calls that I had over the 300 over several months came from LinkedIn. It means that I'm probably going to ignore LinkedIn. I'm not even going to bother with LinkedIn, which I pretty much don't use anymore. And I might find out that out of the 300 calls altogether, only 50 of those people came from Instagram. Well, it probably means I'm not going to put a lot of time into Instagram. But I did, however, find that 230 calls came from YouTube, or even 200 calls came from YouTube, and 60 calls came from Facebook. Just some stupid maths there. That means I'm going to start to double down in these places, and I now know where not to spend my time. So I'm constantly being asked questions like, should you use like TikTok? Should you use this Clubhouse thing? And all these new social media apps that come out of nowhere, they get really hyped up for a couple of months and they disappear. Another one comes along. And I'm not a big fan of trying a lot of these new things until I see some sort of proof that that's where my clients are. But I know, the platforms that have been around for a long time are probably going to be around for the rest of life in general, are places like YouTube and Facebook. And I know something about people. People have problems, and people are going to be constantly trying to find the answer to their problem. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that my clients are on YouTube trying to find answers to their problems. And I also know I can target my specific clients on Facebook very, very easily, thanks to Facebook groups and stuff like that. So again, if I start to track for asymmetry, it means that instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall and it just sticking, I take it one step further and I find out, where are all my calls being booked from? And once I see that, I'm now going to ignore the places where my clients are not, and I'm going to double down on the places where my clients are. So let's say through that experiment over 3 months, I have 300 calls booked, and I got 300 calls. Well, let's say 200 of those calls came from YouTube. But I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel and go, okay, in order for me, I got 200 calls in 3 months, or 300 calls in 3 months. 200 of those came from YouTube, but I only created 1 YouTube video a week. Well, if I want to double down, why don't I start doing 2 YouTube videos a week, 3 YouTube videos every week? Heck, I'll do a YouTube video every single day. And that in turn will now book multiple more clients, because that's where my clients are. But all the time I would normally spend on Instagram, which really wasn't achieving or yielding any result, I can now put into YouTube, to the extent that now I can spend 80% of my time on YouTube and only 20% of my time on Facebook, 0 time on LinkedIn, 0 time on Instagram. Hopefully you get my point. So moving your business online is the first part, getting more time and efficiency out of the business model that you're trying to run, but then starting to track for asymmetry to really look at, Where are your clients coming from? And putting a simple question in your survey like, where did you find Joe blogs, will give you all the answers you need. You could even go through all your Facebook posts or all your YouTube videos and track asymmetry even further and find out what got more responses, a Facebook Live or a post. And if you found that post, like just posting a simple post, got more results than all the Facebook Lives you ever did, double down on more Facebook posts. We like to track everything. And I teach all of my 100K coaching program students, all of our multiple six-figure students do this with absolute precision. They know exactly where their clients are, what type of content their clients respond to, and also where their clients are not, so they can ignore those places. That's how they can spend less time in their business, probably hours and hours and hours less than most business owners, but make 5, 10, even 20 times more amount of money with less time, less energy, and pretty much no cost than the normal therapist or the normal coach. So guys, really get into the mind of your clients. Understand that your clients all have a problem that they're looking for an answer to, and your content has to show up. Then we use social media to show that content in specific places. But we also have to realize, are our clients actually on these social media platforms? There's no point marketing on a social media platform if your clients are not there to see your content and for you to create an offer. And like I said right at the start, forget about the business cards, forget about the flyers, the meetup groups and the events and the business lunches and stuff like that, because you have absolutely no control over that stuff. You have no control over who shows up. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of cost to yield no results. It's a lot more efficient for your time, rather, to move your business online, but really start to analyze which social media platforms are going to be best for your business. So hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions like normal, please comment below. That's all for me on this video, guys. Again, my name is Scott Jansen. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.